We have breaking news coming across the screen. I am shocked. I don't know what's going on right now, but Rafi Devers, according to reports, has been traded to the San Francisco Giants. What is happening? What is going on right now? This is not what I expected today. They just swept the Yankees. Rafi was just talking post-game saying the Red Sox, they're playing great, but he feels like they still have another level. Well, I guess this other level is not going to include Rafi Devers. I don't know what's going on. I am shocked. Wow. Holy cow. There's a lot to digest here right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable. This is something I did not think was going to happen. You know, we had all the drama going back to beginning of May, Rafi not wanting to move off. Well, actually, this goes back to spring training. You know, you bring in Alex Bregman to play third base. Obviously there was a bit of an awkwardness there because you're thinking, Bregman, he could have played second base and Rafi was going to be a third. Well, nope, that wasn't going to be the plan. Bregman was going to play third. Rafi, he's now going to move to DH. That took a little time to get used to, but Rafi eventually warmed up to it. Then Tristan Casas goes down. Major injury, out for the year. Now, what's going to happen at first base? Well, Craig Breslow, he says, hey, Rafi, would you want to play third or first base? We could really use you there. Rafi's like, well, hey, you've already moved me around. You already took me off third base to move to DH. I've settled into this role now. No, I don't think this is a good idea for me to play first base. John Henry flies into town, into Kansas City, has a sit down. Still don't know the details of that meeting. Still don't know what's going on there. And then you're thinking, I even did a video on this. I did a video a little bit ago saying, could the Red Sox trade Rafi Devers? And I said in that video, it's probably not going to happen. I didn't see it happening, but it happened. And my only explanation before diving into anything is they are trying to make room on this roster to create more flexibility. And I'm thinking it's going to be Wilyer Abreu, or Jarren Duran to make some room for Roman Anthony. And it ended up being Rafi Devers. I am absolutely shocked. We do have the trade. I have had no time to even look at this. I know there's about 1,000 of you in this chat right now. Very honest with you, I was literally recording something for a video. My phone wasn't even near me. I hear my phone blowing up, and I look over at the TV. I'm like, what the heck is going on? It's on the TV. Breaking news. It's official. Robert Murray with it. I'm going to share the screen. Let me get everything pulled up here. Holy cow, what a Father's Day shocker. This is insane. You are seeing a raw reaction right now. This is crazy. I don't even know where to look. Okay, I'll go back to Robert Murray. Here we go. Let's share the screen. All right, so here's the deal. Sorry if it's taking a second to load. For some reason, my computer lately has not been working. Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, and more. This is nuts. Well, the Red Sox got their young starting pitcher in Kyle Harrison. I'm shocked. You all know me. I got to go to Baseball Trade Values. Let's see if this lines up. Rob Bradford said, Jones and Keefe asked me a few weeks ago what was more likely, Devers playing in the field or being traded. I said being traded. This is crazy. This is nuts. Here we go. Let's plug this in. Hold on 1 second. Of course, this is not working. Let me go back here. I got to log in really quick. Okay. Well, Rafi, so there's going to be, I would think there's got to be cash involved because Rafi's on a big contract. And I know he has an underwater contract because he's basically just the DH right now. So that is going to have to be something to pay attention to. So here we go. I'm getting the simulator pulled up here. I'm going to show the trade for you on the screen. I'm frantic right now. I can't even focus on anything. I can't believe this. What is even happening? This is insane. All right, here we go. Sorry for it's pulling up the screen here. Again, my computer's been very slow. There we go. I am shaking right now. Holy cow. All right, so right now, baseball trade values, they're saying a negative $40 million value. That's not valuing the player that he is, what he does on the field. That's also factoring in the money that he's being owed. So basically, if you are new to baseball trade values, what that means is his projected field value from now until the end of the contract is worth $40 million less than what he's being paid. So he's on a 10-year, $310-ish million deal. So they're projecting over the course of the contract, he's going to put up less value, $40 million less than what he's going to be getting paid on that contract. So here we go. So right now, this is going to be way in the negative. So I need to see the money, right? So right now, this is definitely going to be lopsided in favor of the Red Sox. So, okay, it was Kyle Harrison. Got Jordan Hicks, too. They got a lot of pitching in this deal. A lot of pitching in this deal. Kyle Harrison, this is a name that I've talked about in the past for the Red Sox to possibly acquire. Wow, you never see these kind of trades for like massive contracts in season like this. Especially, we're not even in July yet. Not even in July. That's insane to me. I can't believe this. I'm stunned. All right, Hicks. Well, Hicks is on a contract, so that's gonna take away. That's gonna put the Red Sox into the negatives a little bit too. Who was the Hicks, Harrison, and more? I don't even know. This is insane. I mean, has Passan said anything? Passan said 10 minutes ago, out of nowhere, blockbuster deal. Red Sox getting Hicks and more. I don't even, man. I mean, let's get back here to, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just like, wow. This is crazy. I'm trying to find the words. I really think this comes down to I don't know. I keep going back to that meeting when John Henry flew to Kansas City. What happened in that meeting? You know, to me, it doesn't sound like it went great, right? I mean, you didn't hear anything coming out of it after the fact. No one still knows what was talked about. But I really do think the fact that Rafi didn't want to play first base, I think that plays a lot here. And I think the Red Sox, I think what they are going to come out and say is they are looking for not versatility, but flexibility within their roster. And I think the fact that he didn't want to moving to first base, we were all saying it. Sure, you could make the argument that, he had the right to stay at DH, right? But you got to look at it from the team perspective. The team always comes first. And the Red Sox, they were serious about this. And, it's really funny because I think back, I mentioned, it's so funny, man, because I talked about this in the video that I did. And I brought up Manny Ramirez, Nomar Garciaparra, how there were, relationships that weren't good on either side with those guys anymore. Nomar had a bad relationship with the front office. Manny basically wore out his welcome. Kind of makes me wonder if John Henry, ownership said, you know what? We went through this with Manny. We went through this with Nomar, where, Nomar, it was different, right? Manny was kind of like, there were times where, you go back to 2000, I think it was 2008, 2007, 2008. Can't remember the year. My brain is going a million miles a minute right now. But, go back to a series against the Yankees, and Manny basically made himself unavailable, and then he came into pink shit, and he took 3 pitches right down the middle from Mariano Rivera. Like, Manny was like one of those where he did not want to go. He was pretty much at a point where he was checked out, right? So it kind of makes me wonder if the Red Sox, they think back to those times and they say, well, Rafi's not willing to do, put the team first. Time to move him. That's what I think happened here. That's what I think is going on here. I think that's a big part of it. I think the Red Sox, they're going to come out and say, oh, yeah, you know what? We got these guys, Roman Anthony, Marcelo Meyer coming up now. Yeah. And I think they're going to say we were looking for flexibility within the roster. I think that's what they're going to say. Now, I'm leaving out a massive thing here. I haven't even touched on the Giants. I'm going to say this right now. Giants fans, good for you. Good for you. You just got your next best hitter since Barry Bonds. I'm going to point that out, right, for Giants fans right now. Good for you. That is fantastic for Giants fans. Giants fans, you should be doing cartwheels right now. That's massive. That is massive. Okay, so, we got James Tibbs? We got Tibbs? That's interesting. Hold on a second. Tibbs was a high draft pick. And money? No money? No money? Interesting. So the Red Sox, they were able to clear off this contract? Wow. And Jose Bayo? Okay, well, the Red Sox, if you're looking at it from just a value perspective, simply value where you're looking at money and everything involved, I'm not talking about the players. Yes, I am talking about the players a little bit, but when you're looking at it from just an overall picture, the Red Sox, I don't want to say they won this deal because the money is the big thing here that makes this look lopsided. I don't know why my screen is all like weird right now. Why is my screen weird? Okay, that's better. Sure, yes, it's going to be negative $40 million for the Giants and 1.9 for the Red Sox. That doesn't mean it's a bad trade for the Giants, right? The Giants are taking on his contract, which who knows how it's going to go. Now, the question is, with Rafi, is he going to play in the field or, is he going to play first? That would be hilarious if Rafi ended up playing first base for the Giants. This is, for the Giants, they're looking really good right now. They have not updated this. I mean, I would think he's going to be DH. He's got to be the DH. Travis, how am I doing? I don't know how I'm doing. I don't know what's going on. I was working. It's Father's Day. You know, I was texting my dad a little earlier. My dad's a big soccer fan. I was talking to him about Liverpool and how they got some, like, a big free agent or something this past weekend. I get back to work on recording on a video that I'm working on, and all of a sudden, I left my phone over there when I walked over to my desk to get to work, and my phone's going off, bzz, 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 and then someone's calling me, and I'm like, what is happening right now? Like, is everyone okay? I go over to my phone, and I'm like, what This is crazy. Fenway Joe, I'm in a state of shock as well. Let's say that now. Let's again. I don't have anything prepared right now. I don't think no one was prepared for this. Oh my God, aren't the Red Sox playing the Giants here soon? The Red Sox are playing the Giants in a few days, right? Aren't they? They're playing the Giants in a few days. Oh my God. Jets, be honest. What am I thinking here? I really don't know, because obviously this hurts the team. This is shocking. I really don't. I think people are going to look at this as the Red Sox are selling. I don't think it's them selling. I think they're just trying. Well, I think first off, I think they probably got a little cheesed off Rafi not wanting to play first base. I think that was a big thing here. I think that's a huge deal. And you got all these guys. You had like no flexibility. You know, Roman up, Marcelo Meyer up. You know, Bregman's going to be coming back soon. Willie Abreu is going to be coming off the IL soon. I don't look at this as selling. I think the Red Sox, they didn't like Rafi's attitude with the whole thing. I don't think they liked how he was talking to the media. And they have a lot of players. So I don't look at this as the Red Sox trying to sell. I think they are doing what they feel like is best for the culture of their team. And with all these guys looking for playing time, I think the Red Sox, they were just looking to turn the page. It's really hard for me to say, you know, kind of how I fully feel about it. I need more time to process this. I will say, though, I mean, obviously, I'm not happy trading away Rafi when, you know, the guy just hit a home run today against the Yankees. He's got 15 home runs on the year. He was going to be the all-star, you know, he was probably going to be the starting DH in the all-star game. True man quit. I'm not crashing out. I'm not there yet. I'm still in a state of shock. Once this processes a little bit more, there is a chance I maybe get maybe a little cheesed off later on. And I'm thinking, why the heck did we just trade our best hitter? There is a possibility that could happen. I'm too shocked right now to crash out. If we were to look at this from the return side from the Red Sox, wow, has Fangraphs even updated? I mean, you couldn't do this until you couldn't wait till tomorrow to do this. It's Father's Day. They have not updated this. Another thing, now that, you know, as I sit here and I'm thinking about this, makes me wonder too, maybe the Red Sox, they really see something here with Roman Anthony. I think that's also coming into play. I think they want him to be in the lineup full time. I think that's part of it. There's a lot of things going on here. And listen, it's funny because how do I say this? Because I know people are going to go in the comments and they're going to call me out and they're going to be like, "Oh, you're such a Red Sox homer." And I'm going to say this right now. Obviously, I do not like trading away Rafi Devers. I do not like that. I love Rafi, right? The guy's bat is tremendous. However, the players that the Red Sox got in return, I like the players. Do I like it in this trade? I don't know. I mean, but the thing is I do like the young arm of Kyle Harrison. James Tibbs. I mean, here's the thing. You got a left-handed bat in James Tibbs. How was James Tibbs doing this year? Last time I checked, I feel like he was doing pretty well. Here was a guy that I actually wouldn't have minded if the Red Sox picked him up. I thought Braden Montgomery was going to go in the top 10 in that draft last year, and I thought James Tibbs could have been a guy that could have gone to the Red Sox. I really thought that. No one expected Braden Montgomery to fall out of the top 10, and he did, and so he fell into the Red Sox laps. But Tibbs, going into the draft, looked more realistic. I think the Giants were actually right behind the Red Sox at 13, so it's kind of funny. But how are his numbers? I mean, he's still far. He's in high A. I mean, he's showing some good power, hitting 245. I mean, really good on base at 377, a 480 on the slugging, 132 WRC plus, 12 homers. This is a power left-handed bat. Also, oh my goodness. Again, thank you people in the chat. Masataka Yoshida. Here you go. I mean, that's another guy. Like he could, he actually has been feeling better as of late. So could he be coming back here soon? I mean, you could still have Yoshida in this lineup. And, here's the thing. Are the Red Sox done? Are they done? Because if you bring back Yoshida and you have him as your DH, and you still want to work Roman into this lineup, could you still move, say, Wilyer Abreu or Jarren Duran? I don't know. So I think that's a big thing here too. Yoshida, I see you in the chat, Nick, Yoshida is going to be miraculously healthy the next game. Steven. Now, here's the thing. I like Yoshida, man. I do. He's a good contact guy. He's got a little bit of pop. Obviously, he's not going to be Rafi, but a guy, funny enough, the Red Sox, and here's another thing too. Again, all of these thoughts are coming to me as I'm thinking here. The Red Sox, they are one of the worst strikeout teams this year. Yoshida is going to improve that if that is the route the Red Sox are going here. I don't know. I mean, he's probably sightseeing somewhere in some very nice, mountain region for all we know, taking, pictures of waterfalls. I don't know where Masataka Yoshida is right now. But if the plan is to bring him back, I wouldn't be surprised if that came into the Red Sox thinking, because he doesn't strike out a lot and the Red Sox need to get better at that. I kind of wonder here if the Red Sox felt with the way Rafi was, with the, not wanting to move to first base, kind of seeming to take, a me approach, right? There were guys, according to Chris Cotillo, in the clubhouse that, some of them were for Rafi, but then there was a part of the clubhouse too that felt, why isn't Rafi wanting to help out the team? So I think that is something that came into play here. But I also think for the Red Sox, they maybe felt here too, was it worth, could we at least come close to replicating what Rafi could give you? When they have all these other guys like Roman, Yoshida, maybe they felt like you could replace Rafi with a couple of different guys in the lineup, but then you wouldn't have to have that me first kind of that attitude, right? Where, again, he didn't want to play first base. That would have helped out the team. That would have opened up DH to say, bring back Yoshida. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. I think there's a few different things that come into it. I think, obviously, Craig, that relationship seemed to have been squashed. There seemed to have just been ruined, with that, after that whole conversation. I want to know what Alex Cora is thinking right now. Are there any players from that 2018 team left? I mean, I'm going like so blank right now. The 2018 Red Sox, I don't think there's anyone left now. Yeah, I think everyone's gone now. Unless I'm just going completely blank. Yeah. Yeah, he was the last one. So maybe Craig, he looked at this as like, fully turning the page from that era. This is the new era of the Red Sox. Now, here's another question. What is the future of Alex Cora? I think that's something that's really worth asking here. Does Cora end up staying past this season? I don't know. Mike Goldstein, I see you in the chat. You bring up a really good point there, I think. This trade has been in the works for a few days. This is why Devers has been taking ground balls. And it is interesting, right? Because he's out there, he's taking ground balls. Even Sam Kennedy, he went on the pregame show on Nesson, said, he's just out there, so he's ready when we need him, right? It is interesting thinking about that. We do have some super chats here. Thank you, Yang Gang. Let's get to some super chats here. We did have a few come in. What do we got? Jet Wolf 90. Going from Fenway to Oracle Park is going to be rough. Listen, if there's a guy that can do it, it's Rafi. Rafi is your next best hitter since Barry Bonds. I think that was a huge pickup. Thank you for that super chat, my friend. Yang Gang, salary dump to sign Roman and Meyer and a big free agent. I mean, they just cleared off a lot of salary. I mean, now you kind of wonder, could they maybe, maybe they want to try and extend Bregman long term. I actually wonder, with Bregman, the culture that he's brought to the clubhouse here, I wonder if that maybe turns some heads within the organization, right? Bregman has been he's been a leader in that clubhouse, right? He has been a guy that, he's been taking these young guys under his wing, even while he's on the IL, talking to Roman, talking to Marcelo, talking to all these guys, right? And you're noticing all these guys too saying, whatever it takes to win, got to put the team first, right? You've been seeing guys mentioning that. Remember Lucas Giolito not too long ago? Lucas Giolito said, after after his start against the Braves, when he was asked, hey, what do you think about being pulled out of the game after 4 2/3? Lucas Giolito just said, hey, I'm an employee. I do what they want me to do. It's because you've been noticing that. And I just wonder if maybe bringing in Bregman and seeing how he's interacting with these young guys while, Rafi, really, if you want to look at a guy that's, again, I don't know the people. I don't know them personally, but kind of how, they've interacted. Rafi does compare, I'd say at least a little bit to Manny, right? Where, a guy that just wants to go out there and hit and play baseball, right? Doesn't really seem to, again, I don't want to put Rafi down. Like, obviously he did a lot of good things for the Red Sox in his career. But, a guy where, again, he didn't want to go to first, and that would have helped out the team. Whether you disagree with it or not, it would have helped the team. Walter, Bregman would play first base in a heartbeat. Absolutely, he would. He would. Aaron Luke, Robbie, I'm sorry. It's okay. We're still processing this here. This is still pretty crazy. It's crazy. Daniel Garcia, I'm wondering how sour the relationship between him and the front office went. Oh, and obviously it got bad. There was a point of no return. And I think Red Sox ownership, I think you can kind of see where the Red Sox ownership, where they lie here. They sided with Craig Breslow. They could have sided with Rafi. I think this gives a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? This puts a lot of respect on Breslow's name, I think. I see you in the chat. Andrew Bailey gets Harrison back. Listen, I've always liked Kyle Harrison. This was a guy that, he came out of that draft a few years ago, a young electric arm. He could end up being a really good guy for the Red Sox, especially with what they've been doing here with the pitching. Travis, the Red Sox are still going to be a good team. I think so. I think they're going to be. Here's the thing. Losing Rafi really hurts. But now I get even more excited about the possibility, what can Roman do? Now that Roman seems to have a path here, he has an avenue now. He has a road where he's probably going to be playing a lot now, right? Penguin fan, Devers can't kill my Blue Jays anymore. Well, Yankee fans can say the same thing. And I see 99 over 22. He said it right after I was saying that's hilarious. From Peter Abraham, the team's feeling was that a $315.5 million contract comes with the responsibilities to do what is right for the team, and Devers did not live up to those responsibilities. That's what I think, man. And you also kind of go back to where the Red Sox, over the last few years, they've been wanting Rafi to be that guy that, talks to the media a little bit more, to kind of be more of a face for the team. And he hasn't really done that. And, you could look at the whole first base thing, but this goes back, I think, a few years. Squidward's house. Robbie, I'm sick. I can't believe they did this to our beloved Dominican baby boy. I just think the relationship, it was too far gone. I think it was done. I don't think there was anything you could have done anymore. I think you're at a point of no return. When he didn't want to play first base, I think that was it. Jill, I don't think anyone's bashing Rafi here. It is what it is. That's more what we're saying. I think that's just what happened here. He didn't want to play first, and you kind of you just look at the facts over the last few years, ownership, they've wanted Rafi to do certain things and he just hasn't really wanted to. And when you're getting paid that much money, like Bryce Harper is everyone, or what everyone wants as your star player, right? A guy that's going to go out there, play hard. He's going to be the face of your team. He's going to talk to the media. He's going to do the photo ops. He's going to do all of that, right? He's going to represent your city. And I felt like with Rafi, and again, I don't mean this as like me being disrespectful to him. It's just he wasn't really kind of, when you're paying that much to one player, you do kind of expect that those expectations are going to come naturally, right? When you see Aaron Judge with how he portrays himself as the face and the captain of the Yankees, Harper with the Phillies, and then you see Rafi, who's not really existent, and then taking shots at Craig, to the media. I think that was the last straw. I think that was it, and I think when that happened, I think it was over. So it kind of makes me wonder how long they've been looking into this. Yeah, and Tristan, Vlad Jr. with the Blue Jays too, Garb, what role will Jordan Hicks be in? I think Jordan Hicks. Well, so what's been going? Has Hicks been healthy? Well, he was on the IL, right? Oh, he just has something going on with his foot. Well, here's the thing with Hicks. The ERA, I know a lot of people, they're going to go right to that ERA and they're going to see a 6.47. Aha, I see you in the chat. I see you. I see you. High ERA, 6.5 ERA, but the FIP is at a 3.59. So it's going to be interesting to see how Hicks translates to Fenway Park, right? He's had the spacious Oracle Park. Not a lot of strikeouts from Hicks. However, he has a very low home run rate. He gets a lot of ground balls. So I think that's where the Red Sox, they see him and think that he could end up doing pretty well. Actually, Jordan Hicks, throughout his career, he has not really given up a lot of home runs. So I think the Red Sox, they see that. He doesn't walk a lot of guys either. Throws hard, good velo. So I think for the Red Sox, I think they just see some things that they can try and tap into with Hicks. Nick, the Giants have a better infield defense. That's true. That's also something to consider as well. The Red Sox infield, Bregman's been good. Story, he's been fine. Christian Campbell, a little up and down. I'm still giving that man a chance. Jimmy Productions, why did they not try to get more? Jimmy, I think they probably got as much as they could here because this is really a salary dump. I don't want to say it's a salary dump because you are getting talent in return, but really, how often do you see a team getting rid of a contract over $300 million, right? You go back to Giancarlo Stanton, but that was a different situation in itself because the Marlins, it's the Marlins. They can't pay for anyone. It doesn't happen very often. I think the fact that I think the Giants here, they get themselves a great hitter, and sure, they're paying that money, but the Giants have been wanting to spend money on players. Like, they have all this money, and no one besides Willie Adames, and Matt Chapman the last couple of years have wanted to take it, They've been trying to find players to pay. Well, Snell too. So in a way, I could see the Giants being like, okay, we'll take the contract, whatever. We want good players here. I think I could see this being a win-win because the Red Sox have a lot of position players that are very talented, like Roman Anthony. Listen, I will feel better if Masataka Yoshida comes back. What did Rob Bradford just say? One very the Red Sox thought that's right. Rob Bradford just made a good point as well. The Red Sox were talking with Jordan Hicks before he signed with the Giants. That is something also. However, I think that was before when Craig... Oh, no. He went to the Giants in 2024. No, so that's right. Yeah, they were interested in Jordan Hicks. See, Kyle, I think they're going to have Yoshida come back. How crazy if all of a sudden Masataka Yoshida is in the lineup tomorrow? Yeah, Graham, Jordan Hicks, there's a lot to like with Jordan Hicks, and I'm very curious to see how he meshes in here with this, newly revamped pitching development. The Red Sox needed pitching, and they got a lot of it here. Kyle Harrison. Now, what do you do with Kyle Harrison? Oh, man. I don't think I've ever seen, as long as we have done this channel, since we've been here over the last 5 years, I don't think I've been more shocked by anything. Free agent, trade, probably more so because it's my own team. But when I think about all the deals that have happened, all the trades, this one probably is the most shocking. It's wow. It's like, I'm not trying to sound dramatic here. I know, I try to be real with all of you, but it's a little emotional. It's a little. Oh, Jared Carabas is on TV. What is Jared saying here?
Jared, we're dying to know. Red Sox Nation, yay or down? What do they think of this deal? The biggest thumbs down, man.
Wow, Jared gives it a thumbs down.
It feels like a bomb went off. Before this trade broke, I got a message about it, a couple of messages being like, something's about to go down. There's a little bit of commotion going on, and then I hear it's about Rafi. I'm like, well, this type of stuff probably gets talked about behind the scenes all the time, so I didn't put a ton of stock into coming to fruition. So then we get the breaking news out of nowhere. We're kind of on high alert because then I got told, there's a very high chance this is going down. We're like, they're not going to.
Hold on 1 second, everyone. I'm just listening to this.
Rafi just homered today. They just got back over 500. You've been trying to salvage the season. You finally get there, and then you trade Rafael Devers, and something to me that we're not hearing the whole story here.
Yeah, it was so much noise surrounding the drama with Rafael Devers, but credit to him, he found a way to block out that noise and still went out there and produced on a regular.
I don't know if anyone could hear any of that. Whatever. But yeah, Jared said he feels like something is not being said here. Well, I'll tell you what's not being said. I think the Red Sox, they just felt like Rafi wasn't really for the team. That's what it is. And what else is there to say? I think that's what it is. I just didn't think they would go to this extent. I didn't think it would ever get to this point. I didn't think it would, I don't think anyone ever thought it would get to this point. This is going to be a really interesting couple of days. I know, Jaron, that's so crazy. They're literally playing the Giants. It'd be funny? Does Rafi go on the team plane with the Red Sox as they're going out west right now? Does Rafi still go to the airport with these guys? Philip, at this point, it looks like this is to try and correct the mood within the dugout. It's been weird. They have been winning a lot of games as of late. I wonder, though, man. I do wonder how many guys in the clubhouse are going to like this. I don't think a lot of them are going to come out and say anything. I actually could see a lot of guys in this clubhouse saying, hey, you know what? This is, sure, the guy was a great player. He's a great hitter. But I just wonder how these guys in the clubhouse are going to feel about it. And Noah, you bring up a good point too. Blaze Jordan. Blaze Jordan has been very hot in the minor leagues. So this opens up not just the major league roster right now, but all of a sudden, a couple of guys down in the minor leagues. Don't forget about Yostinson Garcia. This is a guy that's really, firing on all cylinders down in AAA right now. There's a lot of guys that all of a sudden they're looking around thinking, whoa, a massive chip just got moved. And all of a sudden now, a lot of these guys are thinking this could be, a shot for me, because this was a guy that you didn't think was ever going to go anywhere. And now all of a sudden you got this massive hole and guys are going to be looking to fill that. Yeah, Tyler Bryan, I think this is a good way to put it. I think what you're saying here, Tyler, I think this is a really nice way to put it. Was nice the right word? There's no win-win. I don't think this is a deal where anyone wins. I think it's more so two teams. I mean, maybe they both win in the end. That's the goal for any trade, no matter the circumstances. We always love to say, oh, that team got fleeced. Oh, this team, wow, what a terrible trade for them. No, at the end of the day, the goal is for both organizations to benefit from it. I think the Red Sox, I've already said it a lot of times, I think there's probably something lingering within the clubhouse, within the organization that they wanted to clear out. And they're looking at all these position players that are talented, that are hungry, and they are players that want to put the team first. And I think that's the Red Sox. I think they saw that. I think that's what it was, right? And for the Giants, they've been looking they needed a boot. Here's the thing with the Giants. I'll say this too. The Giants offense, I've been saying for a little while, they've needed another bat. The video that I was working on, I actually talked about the Giants in that video. And I was literally talking about, that's so crazy. I just had a hot take here. I'm going to have to redo this part. I got this hot take. Listen to this. Who is this from? I wonder if they're here in the chat. From Cole Dunstan. The Giants are the most active team at the deadline and go after and get several key pieces to add to their offense. Cole Dunstan, are you here? Because you nailed it, my friend. I'll read that one more time. I'm going to talk about this in my video. The Giants are the most active team at the deadline and go after and get several key pieces to add to their offense. Well, I don't know if what else they're going to get here. And David Young, that is actually Rafi has been hitting, he's been a little cold as of late. I mean, Rafi just hit a home run today. But I do wonder, Nick, I don't know why your comment just made me laugh. But David, I don't think even if a guy's cold, he's still a presence in the lineup, right? It's still someone that you really got to focus on, and even though maybe, he hasn't come up with, a lot of hits as of late over the last, couple of weeks, he's still Rafi at the end of the day, But I do wonder if maybe that thought process could have come into play a little bit where, like, hey, well, we've been winning games while Rafi's cold. I do wonder if that maybe came into it a little bit. Oh, we got a $50 super chat. Oh, Exton Stone, you're amazing, my friend. Wow. Yankee fan here. No team gets bailed out in the trade market from financial mistakes than the Red Sox. I know, that's so crazy that you just bring that up. Go back to 2012. Yep. Shades of 2012 when the Dodgers rescued their decade. I am Jack's burning annoyance. It's true. And why the Red Sox are so good at this. This has to be a John Henry kind of a play. Do you think John Henry made a phone call to the Giants? Do you think that's possible? Hey, I got a deal for you. You're going to have to take a lot of money in the process. Has John Henry been behind all of these financially saving moves over the years for the Red Sox? I don't know. 940 Sports Cards, Bryce Eldridge not being involved is crazy. No, I don't think that's not crazy to me. There's no way the Giants should give him up. No way. James, I am getting on the super chats. Let me come back here. You know what? I can actually see through eCam here. Let's do. All right. So we got a lot of super chats here. I didn't realize this many super chats came in. Again, Exton Stone, thank you so much for the $50. You're amazing, my friend. Thank you for that. That is greatly appreciated. You're amazing, my friend. And great point bringing up 2012, right? Thank you for that. Here we go. Frank Ryan. We got a lot of super chats here. Frank Ryan, $1.99. Sean McAdam Globe hit piece in 3, 2, 1. Soon. There's going to be some details coming out over the next couple of days. You know there will be. Robert, are you okay? I don't think I am. I don't think I am. Thank you, my friend. Derek, we have Mookie PTSD. Ugh. I mean, This is a little different, but I know what you mean. Jimmy, I said this one. Why did they not try to get more? Again, I think it was more they just got what they could. I mean, they were unloading the contract. You do know they have to be thinking here. You know they got to be thinking. People out there are probably thinking, I wonder how long they've been talking about this. This is a big contract. You don't just make one phone call and get this done. BPG, $4.99. Red Sox signing JD Martinez. Could you imagine? Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Craig Breslow is ready to move the Red Sox into a new direction. Cotillo's saying he didn't ask for a trade. Interesting. I think I read that one. Jet Wolf going to Oracle is going to be rough. I do think he's going to be able to get that done, though. I think Rafi's going to be fine. Kyle, now my Yankees only face him once a year. Crazy, man. For the Yankees fans, like all of a sudden, the hope is through the roof with Yankee fans now. You just got swept, and you're thinking, all right, all is good. We don't got to go up against Rafi anymore. Welcome to the Roman Empire, Yankee fans. I can't wait. Here we go. Who's going to be the next Yankee killer for the Red Sox? Oh, no, Steven. Here comes Vaughn Grissom. Maybe. I'm very curious. Like, what is this roster going to look like in the next week? Oh, very interesting. Matt, that's a great point. $4.99 for Matt. Devers, Bogarts, and Betts reunited in the NL West. That's interesting. You know they're going to get a picture at some point. Well, I don't know. Is Xander going to make it to the All-Star game? I don't know about that. Maybe. If they all go to the All-Star game, you know they're going to get a picture. What else we got? Lucas. We just swept the Yankees and they somehow won. It's literally what I was just saying. That's so true. Swingman Lou, how you doing, my friend? Robbie, this was diva attitude that got him traded point blank. I agree. I do think that is the main thing here. Pete Abraham's got a tweet. What is Mr. Abraham saying? Swingman Lou, thank you for that. James, me enjoying a Father's Day cigar with the family men, and then choking on the smoke. And literally, when I first read that tweet, I was thinking, is this serious? What? I actually thought maybe he got hacked. I know that's kind of like an easy thing to say when you see a crazy tweet like that. But I actually really thought, like, okay, Robert Murray? This isn't Jeff Passan. I mean, Robert Murray, all the respect in the world, but I think even Robert would say Passan is the king. I mean, holy cow, great job, Robert Murray, for getting this story and putting it out there before freaking Passan, for crying out loud. But again, it's like usually Robert Murray, I do think is a trusted source, but again, it's Passan that I'm talking about here, you know? It's crazy, James. You're saying here you had the Luka Doncic trade. It's not that level, but it's still, you know, it's still like that earth-shattering. In the baseball world, this is earth-shattering. Crazy. What did Peter Abraham say? Oh my God, I still have a video to do. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that video tonight. Wow. David Young, do you think this changes the rookie platooning? No. Well, no, I don't think so. I'm very curious if, I don't know, because, I mean, now this really clears up a spot for, I want to know what's going to happen with Yoshida. That's very interesting to me. Are they going to put him back, or are they still acting like he doesn't even exist? Is it going to be simply Roman in this lineup taking over? What did Peter Abraham say? He's not posting anything on Twitter. Did Pete Abraham say something on Blue Sky or whatever it is? No. I mean, yeah, we read this one earlier. They had enough with Rafi and they traded him. Abe, because someone in the chat said Pete Abraham put something. What I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. Gilmore, I want Yoshida to get a shot again at DH for a few months, rebuild his trade value for the deadline, send him to a team where he'll be better utilized. Well, listen, if they could move Rafi, I mean, Rafi's Rafi. That's different. I mean, obviously Rafi's going to be better than Yoshida, but I mean, still, if they could find a way to do that, then maybe they do the same thing with Massa. Adam, I know they didn't even give us Dom Smith back. The nerve. Malik, so it's just Harrison and Hicks? No, I mean, we got a few pieces here. You got Kyle Harrison, Jordan Hicks, James Tibbs. I'm actually very excited about. That's a power bat from the left side. I am very excited about him. That guy was a monster at Florida State. I know, James. It's crazy. Well, now all of a sudden, you're thinking, what else could happen here? If the unthinkable could happen, what else could happen? I wonder, could the Red Sox maybe... Now things are... Now I'm thinking maybe even a step ahead here. Could the Red Sox now... Because they got a lot of younger assets now. You got Harrison. Well, Hicks, he's not going anywhere. I don't think Harrison's going to go anywhere either. But now you have someone like Tibbs, Jose Bayo as well. But I'm looking more at Tibbs, where you get a pretty solid prospect. Now the Red Sox all of a sudden have a lot of position player prospects within their system. Could maybe some more moves be on the way? Could maybe the Red Sox possibly, I don't know, could you maybe even use Kyle Harrison, like flip him somewhere else? Could you maybe, now that you've gotten some pieces in return, could you maybe turn to the Brewers and say, hey, how about Freddie Peralta? We'll give you Kyle Harrison, James Tibbs, maybe a couple other pieces to land Freddie Peralta. Could you maybe see that? I don't think the Red Sox are done. I actually don't think that. I think there's going to be more moves for this Red Sox team. I'm very curious what Alex Cora is thinking right now. Yeah, Phoenix, I agree with you. Just the start. Chris Cotillo. What did Chris Cotillo say? Man. Oh. Rafi did not demand a trade. That's interesting. So the Red Sox, they were dumb with it. He did say, this does not mean he was against it. Breslow felt it was in the best interest of the team to move on, and Devers, who had clearly been unhappy for months, may very well have too. The anger he felt about the way the front office treated him was real. And again, I understand where Rafi's coming from. I do think where the Red Sox messed up, I think they should have communicated better with him. I think they should have talked with him in the offseason saying like, hey, we want to go out there, maybe go get a guy to, improve our team. We'd love to go get Bregman, Arenado. Would you be okay, where, one of those guys could play third and then we could move you either to, DH or first. I think they should have done something like that in the offseason. I really think they should have communicated with him better. I don't think Rafi's in the wrong. I think everyone was in the wrong, right? But I understand where Rafi was coming from. Because at the end of the day, the Red Sox, they wanted him to... But then again, I also just wonder, too, if maybe the Red Sox didn't communicate with him very much because they felt like he wasn't really stepping up into that level that Harper did for the Phillies, Judge for the Yankees, right? Being the face of that team. Maybe the Red Sox just didn't really want to communicate with him about stuff. Maybe they already felt like he was going to say no or whatever. I don't know. But I do wonder about the lack of the communication there. I'm very curious about that. No, David, I don't think Cotillo's lying. I don't think he's lying. Cotillo, no, I trust that he's not just putting stuff out there. Yeah, Jared, I mean, I don't think you're wrong, right? Where you want to put the team first, right? The team is the most important thing. If you want to go out there and win a World Series, that's the most important thing. Where did Passan say that Rafi wanted out? Where is that report coming from? Did he say that on TV? Or we're getting ESPN? I mean, here's the thing. I do trust Cotillo. I mean, I don't think he just makes stuff up. I do think he is a trusted source within the Red Sox community. But then again, maybe Passan was hearing something different from someone else. I don't know. But I think, kind of them conflicting a little bit on those reports, I think that can say something in itself, where what I think was Rafi was not opposed to leaving. I don't think Rafi was demanding to leave. I think you can say both were right, where he wanted out if there was the possibility, but it wasn't like he was demanding it. Like basically Manny was on several occasions. This is a lot. This is definitely a lot. I will be doing a video on this. We got a few more super chats here. Walter, what do you think the Giants' mindset is here? Rafi can break for sure, but he has to be somewhat looked at as damaged goods. No, I think the way the Giants are going to look at this is just a change of scenery for Rafi. I think just a fresh start for him. They can just say, hey, Rafi, you know what? You're going to be our DH. I think that's the way it's going to go. All right. I think they'll communicate with him. So I think this is just a good change of scenery move for Rafi. Danny, what are the odds he plays first? I wouldn't count it out in the future. But then again, you got Bryce Eldridge coming up at some point. So I really could see the Giants, they're like, all right, he's just going to be our DH, right? Or if he wants to play a position, he can come talk to us and we'll talk. We'll look at it then, Oscar, where's Chapman going to play? Well, Chapman's playing third. Rafi's not playing third. Honestly, Josh, I would not be shocked if Rafi ended up playing first at some point. It's kind of funny how that ends up happening. Who is out of the rotation? Now, that's really interesting, right? Because the Red Sox, they have a lot of starting pitching now. I mean, they have a ton of starters right now. Does Kyle Harrison go back down to the minors? I mean, what happens there? I don't know. Kyle Harrison, what was he doing? Jordan Hicks, the thing with Hicks is you could put him in the bullpen, which I think that's, if the Red Sox ended up doing that, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I feel like the Red Sox need one more high leverage arm. Harrison's been, he's been actually in and out of the bullpen too. Harrison is a guy that has good stuff. He just hasn't been able to put it together. So David Young, who's out of the rotation, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. I want to know who's DHing. Is Massa coming back? I got no freaking clue. I don't know what's going on. What else we got? Thank you, Walter, for that. Evan. So are we going to turn around and sign Bregman long term? I think that's a possibility. I think they like what Bregman has brought to the team from just not just a performance point of view from a culture point of view as well. I think now that they've cleared up some money here, I think you could definitely see that, right? Hey, well, how about a 6-year deal? You can take Rafi's spot on the payroll. Mag. What is this lineup even going to look like now? I really don't know. Has Fangraphs updated their stuff yet? We got anything? There. Oh, no, Fangraphs, don't you do that. Don't you put David Hamilton in the DH spot. Stop it. Fangraphs, you're killing me right now. Get David Hamilton at the DH spot. I can't do this. Nope. That's rough right there, man. Can't do that. No, that's insulting. That is absolutely insulting. Dang, you couldn't even just put like TBD. I would have been better with TBD. No disrespect to David Hamilton, but you not today, Fangraphs. Not today. We have lost one of our best hitter, and you're putting David Hamilton into this lineup. My eyes are burning right now. Stop it. I like David Hamilton, all right, but not here. This makes me sad. I can't do it. You couldn't have just put Roman at DH, and you could have put Ref Snyder in right field. That would have even looked a little bit better. Oh, God. What else we got? I'm going to wrap things up here soon. Just going to let you know. Carlos. What do we got here? Carlos. Why does it feel like it's the Mookie trade part 2? Trading your star for a couple of pitchers and a middle of the system prospect, not good. Well, remember, I know a lot of people are going to look at just the players. It's really a lot about the money here too, as well as the Red Sox simply just didn't feel like Rafi was the guy for them, right? I honestly think bringing Bregman in, I really think they saw the way he was operating, and they're thinking, we're paying Rafi, who, yes, is a great hitter, but we're paying Rafi all this money, but Bregman, sure, he's getting paid a lot of money too, but he's basically on like a 1-year deal. But Bregman came in and immediately was showing you how good of a player he is, but also how good he is within the clubhouse and for the organization. I think the Red Sox probably saw that, and they said, we want to give that money to him. I really think that's something I'm speculating on that. But I actually do wonder if that is something where, because you want to pay your star player to not only just produce, but you want that player to be, your poster guy, right? That's who you want to be talking to the media and, just like Judge and Harper, right? So I do think it's more than just trading players, right? It's about trying to change your culture at the same time. And also some salary relief. I think the Red Sox, yes, they know it's going to hurt, but I think they're okay pulling the trigger on this because they know they got a lot of guys that are going to try and step up. We'll see. I will say, though, listen, I'm not mad at the players you got back. They're obviously like, if you take away the money from Rafi, if you subtract that, I mean, yeah, like you're not getting what you're getting in return is not the on-field value is not going to match Rafi, over the next, how many years here, right? Very interesting. Everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there. I'm going to try and do a video on this. I'm going to try and kind of get my thoughts a little bit more together, maybe think about a couple other things. I still have another video to release. I haven't even finished that video. So all of a sudden this just happened. And my whole plan for work tonight is just completely gone down the toilet. So I don't even know what to do. I'm going to wrap it up there. You all have been amazing here. Thank you for the super chats. Greatly appreciated. This has actually been one of our biggest streams of all time. I think we got close to around 3,000 people here in this one. Let me see. What did we actually get up to here? I think we got close to around 3,000 people in this chat. I won't know until after the chat, but until after the stream. Danny, are we worse or better? On paper right now, you look worse. However, I think the Red Sox, they have the capabilities with the talent they have within the organization to at least get back to that. Yeah, it doesn't look great right now, but I think the Red Sox, they've shown it in the past, man. When they traded Manny, when they traded Nomar, for crying out loud, they've been able to bounce back. And I'm not really worried about the Red Sox moving forward. It hurts losing Rafi, of course, but I think they are more than capable of getting the talent back, into this lineup here. Roman Anthony's going to be a star. I see you in the chat, Salty Grampy. The password, Yo Stinson. He's looking great. You got some guys down in the minors that are going to be coming up here at some point in the next year. So I think I'm obviously upset with it. It's crazy. It's a bombshell, but maybe I sound like a homer. I think the Red Sox will be able to bounce back from it. And let's see, maybe a better culture. If that's what they feel like needed to get better, maybe that will end up being something that really ends up helping this team moving forward. We'll see. But we did get some pitching. The Red Sox, they've needed more pitching. I'll say that. So, again, if you didn't have anyone that was in line to get ABs after Rafi, right? If you didn't have anyone that could potentially, or at least a couple of different guys that could potentially replace that production, then yeah, I'd be pretty upset with this one. But the fact that the Red Sox have a lot of guys that could definitely do something for you, that makes me feel better about it. But again, I see you in the chat too. Montana, man. Minor leaguers are minor leaguers at the end of the day, so they got to prove it. I'm looking at the potential. That makes me feel a little better, but you're right. They got to prove it at the end of the day. We'll see what ends up happening. It's going to be very interesting this coming week, especially with the Red Sox playing the Giants in a few days. That's going to be weird, seeing Rafi in a Giants uniform. Anyway, everybody, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thank you for coming out for this unbelievable reaction stream. I still don't even know where my brain is right now. I am going to do a video on this separately, so if you want to catch that, I'm going to try and post that pretty soon. But everybody, go enjoy the rest of your Father's Day. And if there's anything else that happens, I'll be here. But also, go check me out on Monster Territory. I'm probably going to go live. Actually, I might actually go do that here in a little bit. I'm going to try and do a video really quick, and then I'm going to go live on Monster Territory probably in the next couple of hours. So go subscribe to Monster Territory, especially now that I'm going to have a few thoughts into my head and I'm going to be able to think about it a little bit more. So if you want to see more reaction, check out that stream probably in the next couple hours or so. So everybody, until then, I'll see you next time.